Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 34 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition pirate and Western science fantasy campaign. So, where last we left off, the party had escaped Ashenhold, got on the ship, and sailed off to the chunk of Ysgard that would eventually take them home. Along the way, several extraplanar beings contacted their particular contacts within the party. Mazarendael highly suggested to off Virgil after Virgil revealed that he was receiving sending spells sent to Jedidiah. The huckster revealed to Lyla Devine that there is a possibility of her obtaining a magical item from him, since all of her friends had gotten magical items from various other places and various other beings, and he said, I don't want to leave you out. They eventually made their way to the chunk of Ysgard and got off of it and were almost instantly accosted by a hag who offered the opportunity of a lifetime to one particular member of the party, but was quickly stopped by both the party members and by a new face who introduced herself as Route Finder Kiga. She agreed to help them find the route that would take them back to Ponderosa, but that they'd need about an hour or two to gather supplies and those sorts of things, and left them in the marketplace, pointing to several interesting people that are around. And so we start there as Kiga disappears into the crowd, and you all are left to your own devices. So what all would you like to do?
I know that Velantrios last time was going to the traveling gardener because, Druid gardening.
Right. So are you going by yourself, or are other people tagging along?
I
Are you all
don't know.
splitting up or staying together?
Is anyone else interested in gardening?
Have fun with that, champ.
Yep.
Yeah, not in particular.
It's like the scene at the mall where everyone's like, "Okay, meet back up here."
Right, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
We'll meet at the food court in 20. Okay.
I mean, we basically are in the food court.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a giant boar man slathering down these huge ribs that must have come from something like some sort of giant creature, as he's having to like full on just paint the inside of these ribs. They smell delicious though. They smell amazing. But yeah, so where is everybody else going so that we can set up our little scenes that are there?
Guinevere for a little bit. I mean, she is a merchant. I don't know if we've gone on that bit. But she's very interested in like all of the odds in it. Like we want to see all of it. But very much about that dragon. That sounded super intriguing. So I feel like that's like end game here.
All right.
I want to find that hag.
Oh my god, I knew it. I knew it the whole time.
Jedidiah probably should stick with him.
Jedidiah still has detect thoughts up for a bit, for 10 minutes. So I think Shaw's like thinking about that. I'm like, no.
Gumball.
No.
I'm gonna have to put him on one of those leashes.
Somebody go with Shaw.
Can't leave you alone for 4 fucking minutes.
I grab you like on both sides. The gumball will not let you talk to your parents. It will turn you into something horrible, probably.
Probably.
You said it was what? Transmutation magic, Chauncey? That's not what transmutation is. Not going to do shit for you.
There was divination magic in it too.
Okay.
I mean, okay, well, still.
Okay.
It would turn him into
the minute Chauncey says divination magic, you just hear it solidified in okay, well, I need to Jedidiah is like trying to keep an eye on the route finder, and I want to follow her.
I want to go look at the what do you call it? Maybe the blacksmith, and then this stone giant that crafts streams. What the fuck crafts dreams? I want to see.
I also need to see this dream guy at some point because I literally had a dream.
I'll catch up with you at the Dream Giant.
I did forget.
Okay.
And he sounds fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, as you are following, we'll go with actually, you know what, we'll go with Velantrios first.
Hey.
So you head on over to the this sort of small little tent that looks like it's been set up. It almost reminds you of your tent back home. It's just the A-frame on the ground with a couple of baskets of things around, and there is what appears to be a dryad. Her hair seems to be made of golden hour sunlight, and she has branches growing off of her head. From her fingertips to her elbow and from her toes to about her knees is wood, but it fades into almost like skin painted gold that seems to glow with that sort of warmth from within, this sort of honey yellow glow. And of course, she has these yellow and gold oak modesty leaves that grow over certain areas. And she is sort of picking through her basket as she looks up. Oh, hello. How are you? My name is Alder. It looks like you're probably a druid. Where do you come from?
The name is eluding me at the moment. I hate my brain.
Drake's Ridge.
Yes, thank you. I'm from I'm from Drake's Ridge. It's nice to meet you.
Is that on the material plane?
It is. Yeah,
I
we've
am
come a long
very
way.
interested in going there. I've heard there's a plant there that a lot of people cook with. I don't know what it's called, but when you cut it, you become overwhelmed with sadness for hurting it and you cry. I don't know why you'd cook with it, but I've heard it's delicious.
Oh,
Oh God.
you're talking about onions.
That's what it was called. I'm very interested in obtaining one.
They taste really good, especially when you grill them with some oil.
Ooh, it's very
And
interesting.
they go great with chicken.
Oh, I have had chicken before. I'm not a meat person. Anyway, so I don't have a lot of stuff for sale. Um, it is all Feywild plants. I'm not sure how well they grow on the material plane, but I have these. And she picks up a basket of these small, they are like strangely bouncy ball sized pink berries with a little tiny green leafage on the top. They're almost completely smooth and they glow from within. These are hearth berries. I've had to use a lot of them because it's a little chilly out here. But they taste so good. They taste like cinnamon sugar, and they even toast the bread that you spread them on when you make jam out of them. It's very exciting.
Really,
I
that's
also
so
have
cool.
seeds.
How much are the seeds?
So it'll be about 1 silver for a small handful of seeds, but that'll get you quite a few. The bushes grow quite big, and give off lots of hearth berries, especially in the winter.
I love the Feywild and everything that comes from it. So these are really cool to
Yay! Well, I would certainly be happy to sell them to you. I also have, and she picks up another basket. They are pears, but they're purple. They're magical. They're just called purple pears. They're not anything too special. When you eat them, sometimes you get these little like magical gifts. They're very exciting. It's going to be 1 silver for 1 seed because it grows a tree. And then these are very important pollinators where I come from. These are rocking horsefly eggs. And she holds up a jar with these little eggs in them. They're great pollinators for both hearthberries and purple pears.
Oh my God, this is so cool.
It'll be about 1 gold for the whole jar. This is my last jar, so I guess try not to kill them. Also, I'm probably not going to be here next week. I'll be somewhere else. I travel around.
I'm so jealous that you get to travel all over and just focus on growing plants.
Yeah, it's all about conservation of nature.
Right? The guys I'm traveling with are all about like destruction and trauma and multiple personality disorder.
Oh, well, you know what? Since you are being such a nice customer and you're actually my first customer for the day, how about let's do a little toast? And she takes out a slice of bread and dips the knife into this sort of jam that she has, and she spreads it on the on this piece of bread, just a regular piece of bread. But after a moment, as she's spreading it on, it turns like hot pink jelly. And after a few swipes, you hear it scrape, almost like it's scraping the burnt part of toast. And you smell burnt bread as she hands this piece of toast to you, and she does the same for another one. Well, here's to better times. And
Here's
she
the better time.
kind of toasts with the bread as you all smack hardened crusts together as this bread is like fully toasted, like it just came out of a toaster, which is very bizarre because it was soft, squishy bread before. She didn't toast it. She just spread the hearthberry jam on it. And since you're purchasing, I'll even be nice enough to throw in a bit of hearthberry jam.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And you make your little purchase. Next, we're going to move on to, I'm going to say that we're going to move on to Jed. As you are walking through the crowd, trying to follow Kiga, you're kind of searching the crowd for her, but she seems to slip your view. And after a moment, you find yourself walking up a short hill, um, just outside of the sort of encampment. And you actually find yourself right next to Guinevere. You seem to come out of the crowd at the same time as you all are heading towards this elaborate stone nest. And sitting in it is a very large red dragon filing its nails. And of course, Guinevere, you're heading straight for the dragon. And
Like,
as you come out of the crowd, you bump into Jed.
Hey, I wasn't going. I was
doing.
there's
Are you?
no. You can.
I'm
Yeah,
just.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll go this way.
Just gonna.
Yep, so you scurry up to this sort of dragon that looks down. Oh, I don't get very many visitors.
You're a lot larger than I was expecting.
Well,
When
I'm
they
quite old.
said they had a dragon in the city, I wasn't expecting one as old as you. I figured it was a youngling summit.
I decided to settle down here after quite a raucous youth committing all kinds of acts of evil until, well, I mellowed out a little bit with age.
Huh. Is that what happens? I'd say that.
Yeah. After a
So
while, you
I.
kind of get bored of burning down villages and start becoming interested in the people living in them. And that's when the change happens.
Can't say I know much of anything about that, but what sort of treasures have you come across?
Well, not very much. People give me all kinds of small golden trinkets all the time in exchange for motes of wisdom, but that's about it.
Huh. Nothing ever mythical and grand ever crossed your path.
I think in the last 100 years, the grandest thing that ever crossed my path was Ezra Cloudcaller, the stone giant who makes dreams. That was interesting when he arrived. Nowhere else to go, sadly. He and his twin brother got into a fight, and, well, he decided to be the bigger person and left.
Well, what color is this dragon, by the way?
It is red. Oh, and that is my mistake. Yes, he is a red giant. Sorry, not a stone giant, a cloud giant.
Oh, a cloud giant. Okay. Oh, that makes more sense. That does.
Yeah, I was like, stone giant? What am I talking about?
Yeah.
What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah. Quite the talent from what I've heard. How exactly one goes about crafting dreams, I'm not quite sure.
Apparently it involves eggs, which led to a very awkward conversation about my particular gender identity.
Oh.
Assumedly, he wanted to know if I laid eggs. I do not.
Ah. Understood then. So dragon eggs, one of the ingredients then, I take it.
No, just eggs. I've seen him do things with chicken eggs, just regular chicken eggs before.
Interesting he was hitting you up for your progeny then.
Well, I'm assuming the bigger the egg, the more power it holds, but...
Suppose that logic follows. A craft I'll have to see for my own eyes, I suppose. So what was it you had said about a mode of some such?
A mode? I'm sorry.
Moat?
Moat?
A moat? You said something about a moat of wisdom, I believe it was, that you said?
Oh, yes. People come to me for advice. Having lived so long, of course, I may or may not have some. It is, of course, from a dragon's perspective, so things might not. Well, we'll see.
Well, let me ask you this then, since we're on the subject. Any circumstances under which you might consider it wise to, I don't know, let a fellow live who has earned the ire of a fallen celestial being?
That is quite the tricky situation. How do you feel about this person?
No, not one way or the other in particular.
Well,
asking for a friend.
Sure. I guess it depends on how much you trust this celestial entity. You said it was a fallen celestial entity.
Did I say that?
I seem to have heard the word fallen used.
Perhaps.
How close is your friend to this being?
Oh, bound for all eternity, I think.
That's unfortunate. And I presume there's no way to renegotiate this sentence it's imposed.
Well, I suppose that's what I'm asking about.
Well, you can always deal with the entity directly. See if there was an exchange. Things have value, of course. Regardless of whether they're living or not living, there's always a value to someone somewhere that can be replaced with another valuable thing.
Everything's a trade, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, everything is a trade.
Not unsound wisdom from a creature such as yourself?
Well, hopefully you were satisfied with your answer.
I do have to say I appreciate the insight.
Yes. Well, if your friend ever wants to swing by and ask me more directly and provide more information, maybe I will have other wisdom, but unfortunately that is it for now.
Who's to say the whims of the younglings?
Yes. Wild. I remember those days. And there's a reason they are behind me.
If I was a bit younger and my hair a bit less grey. But I think you'd kindly, in any regard, for entertaining an old woman at least.
Of course. I don't do a lot of entertaining these days, so... It's nice to have someone.
Lovely meeting you. And she'll just like, I don't know, flick him like 2 gold pieces, like, just because dragon's gold, like, here's a nice thing. Sure.
And he looks at them. Oh, the material plane. Interesting. And
Look,
places them in his pile of gold coins.
Suppose it'll do as they'll remember me by.
Very true. Is there anything else that anybody... I know some of you are heading somewhere else.
Before I meet anybody else at the dream place, I did want to maybe check out the blacksmith.
All right. So, yeah, you go into the blacksmith's sort of building. It does have a little tent out front, but it's an actual building with like a bellows and things like that. And working in it is, interestingly, the same creature as the 2 that you met back in Twin Gulch. I actually forget their names, Granite and something else.
Yeah.
The sort of stony creatures with long dreadlocked hair and goat legs. And he's sort of banging away at a sword. It's a very plain looking sword. But he is nonetheless in the middle of work, and he doesn't seem to notice that you're there.
Can I detect magic?
Sure. Yeah, you detect magic. It's not the most magical. It's more of, this is a shop that repairs weapons. It produces probably only really +1 swords at most. He's not producing holy avengers in here for sure.
I think if we were near I was like, maybe there'll be a holy avenger because we're near, a god tree of 5 million worlds right there. But fixing hose is fun too.
God damn.
There's God, Jesus.
There's your fucking breed.
My goodness.
Chauncey's just gonna be like, apologies, sorry to interrupt. I was just looking around your shop. Not a bad setup.
Yeah.
Where do you source your ore from? It doesn't seem like you'd be able to mine for much on such a small island.
Well, you'd be surprised. You see, usually places like this, they're connected to their planes in some way. You can almost walk into the planes they come from. And adventurers come back with ore all the time and give it to me in exchange for swords or repairs or other things like that. So I do have a constant supply.
Oh, wonderful.
Were you looking for anything in particular?
Oh, I'm a total like Willem Dafoe face. I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
Of course.
I'm somewhat of a smith myself. But Chauncey's like, I'm just one smith to another, just wanted to see how other people run their shops, and he's just inspecting things and trying to see if anything. But I mean, like when the detect magic didn't pick up like tons of enchantment or artifice, he's just like, oh, okay. So now he's just appreciating the handicraft of this stone man. So yeah, do you have any rare pieces or materials, or even raw material maybe?
I might have some adamantine around here somewhere if you'd want to buy that.
How much would you charge for some adamantine?
Maybe like... That's quite rare around these parts. Maybe 100 gold for a pound of it.
How many pounds of it do you have?
Let me check. And he goes and he kind of opens a chest, kind of roots around. Looks like I have about 5.
Do you would you do any bartering, perhaps, for some of the price?
Sure, depends on what you have.
Well, Chauncey's gonna just rifle into his bag of holding and like dramatically shove his arm all the way down in.
Mhm.
What do you need? I could I'm an artificer, so I could bind an infusion on the spot. I could make you some bags of holding, or some rings to regain spell slots. I think those fetch a pretty hefty price, right?
Hmm. Interesting.
I mean, it might be a little strange, but if you have adventurers coming through, I run a little shop in Ponderosa, and they eat that shit up. Do you know how much you can get
Hmm.
for a bag of holding? It's kind of ridiculous. Nobody
How
knows it.
many
But
of these things can you make at a time?
I can only do about 3 a day. I could make you 3
Hmm.
right now. I have enough spare bags. They're just not enchanted yet.
How about this? You said you also made rings that can help with spell casting.
Yeah,
How about 1 bag and 2 rings, and I'll knock the price down to the price of 1 pound?
you gotta shake on it.
And he does. It is literally like gripping a statue's hand as you shake his hand.
And I will use my 3 infusions of the day to make him 2 spell refueling rings and a bag of holding from my spare side project empty stuff.
Awesome. And he takes it and, all right. So that'll be the 100 gold for 1 pound, and I'll give you the 4.
Oh, I thought I was getting 5.
Oh, yes, it is 5. You'll get 5, yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna put that in my bag of holding now. Aren't they fun?
Yes.
5
And at this
pounds
point, as you are
of
making the trade, in walks this sort of big orc sort of character. Do you have my sword? Yes, I do. However, small issue of business, he says, kind of handing the sword up to this orc figure. You still owe me for the last time I repaired this sword. Oh, I guess I do. Um, I'll I'll get you later. Um, you've said that for the last few times. So let's do a little trade. How about you do a little favor for me, and I'll let you walk out of here with a sword. What type of favor? Maybe. Ooh, I know. How about you just dance a little jig? No, not the dancing type. You don't really have a choice in the matter. And he claps his hands, and pink butterflies appear around the orc's head, fluttering as you hear panpipe music. And the orc suddenly begins to dance like against his will. Just as he's just dancing. You'll be fine. Well, hopefully you don't have to do that with any of your customers, as this orc is just dancing in the corner.
Chauncey's just like mouth agape. He's like, I don't terrorize my customers when they can't pay. And he's like, admittedly, I mean, I occasionally take unconventional payment as well, but I don't know. I mean,
Well, it's not
yeah,
like
he
I'm
licks.
making him pay. After he's done with his little jig, everything will be paid. It's fine.
Yeah, Chauncey's just gonna lick the tip of a fang real quick because he picked the habit up from his mom. When people can't pay, they pay in other ways.
I see. Well, you take blood, I take embarrassing jigs.
I don't know which one is worse.
They're fine. Right?
I'm. I never got your name, friend.
Oh, my name is Hrundleschist. And what's yours?
Frundleschist.
Hrundle, H-R, Hrundle.
Hrundle. Okay, Hrundleschist. I'm Chauncey Ogg of Ogg's Odds and Ends over in Drake's Ridge. You ever find yourself out that way? Feel free to stop by.
Yeah, I'll certainly be giving it a look.
pleasure doing business. And I'm gonna go to the giant dream place, and apparently, because I also want to see that, but I think that's where other people are convening too at some point.
Yeah. All right. So I think the Shaw and Jed are the only people that I think didn't quite get to something.
I want to see Auntie. I want the fucking gumball.
Okay. So since everybody kind of left you alone, you are wandering around for a little bit before sort of popping out of the shadows is, I see you've been looking for me.
Oh, hi, Auntie Brambles Nag.
Yes.
Yeah, about that gumball.
Of course. I still have it. I'll give it to you for a single copper.
Just a copper?
Yes.
Just a copper?
Yes. Only a copper.
Insight check?
Yep, you can insight check.
God.
I like that she's even charging for it.
12?
She just seems real excited to sell candy. She just loves selling candy.
You know what? The worst part is I have no copper. I'm gonna give her silver.
Ooh, that's fun. Unfortunately, I can only sell you one. But that's fine. And she gives you the gumball.
Pop it.
Yep, you eat said gumball. And for a moment, it's just lovely, a lovely cherry flavored bit of candy. And then suddenly you feel like you're falling. You see the ground come up to you and you face plant directly into the dirt. And suddenly memories flood your head. Playing in the living room with your mom and your dad, stuffed toys. You grow up into a teenager, and sure, you have a few fights, but your parents stick around. They don't go anywhere. You manage to work your way through things. Perhaps even you see a few dates with Dunstan. Dunstan seems to change his act a little bit, seems to get a little bit better as your parents kind of side-eye him, and he eventually shapes up until you reach this point when you find an exciting new opportunity that your parents encourage you to go on. They were adventurers after all until they took care of you. And then you find your way to this group and the memories end. You now have the Echoing Soul Dark Gift.
Oh, what now?
So you can write that down on your character sheet for whenever your character returns, that you now have the Echoing Soul Dark Gift from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft.
Love that.
However, you are fully aware that the candy did not give you your parents back. It simply gave you memories of your childhood with your parents, your teenage years with your parents, and most of your adult life with your parents. You realize when you go home, you will not see them. And that same pain rises up again that you've suppressed and dealt with for quite some years, boiling up incredibly fresh. Well, that was quite delicious. Thank you for all of that delicious sadness. I'll be taking my leave before vanishing into the shadows.
Shaw just lays there bawling on the ground.
All that was missing for the situation was a white van.
Yeah, like
course,
so
let's go.
It wasn't the worst thing that could have happened.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Yeah. Yep. So you all have left Shaw somewhere in this strange place, laying on the ground. What's everyone else doing? I think we still have Jed to...
Yeah. Did I Did I lose the lady? I don't see her anymore.
You unfortunately did. You have no idea where she went. You lost her in the crowd.
Well, then I guess I'll go back to the dragon or something, because I guess
Yeah,
they were
I'm going to
talking
say
about
that
me.
you make your way back to the dragon just at the end of the conversation where you hear the dragon mention, "Oh yeah, if your friend wants to drop by and talk about his options, that would be great." Sort of segment up that conversation. We'll say you pop by there and you see Guinevere give him 2 gold pieces before yep, you turn around and you see Jed walking up the path and kind of you lock eyes.
Fancy meeting you here, eh?
Yeah, how's Dragon?
Bit
Dragon seems cool.
underwhelming, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I don't know, seems insightful.
All right. Oh, I'm not busy, so
Might be worth having a chat.
yeah, I guess. I think we were all gonna go see that dream giant or something, so I might swing that way after.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go stop by and get ribs out there.
And then I'll walk and do like the like
Just kind of walk around.
I like the fiction that for some reason Guinevere and Jed are just super awkward around each other.
I love that actually.
I'll go right. I'll go right.
No, you're right.
My right. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll see you over there.
Holy.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Under me.
Yep. And you make your way up to the dragon as this dragon looks down and I see your do you know that woman?
Yeah, she's sort of. Yes and no. Kind of a mixed bag with that one.
Well, how much do we really
but,
know about the people around us?
You know, that is super fair. That's a very fair statement in today's climate.
So I'm going to go out on a limb, he says, kind of getting closer.
Oh.
You wouldn't happen to be the friend with the fallen celestial issue, would you?
Never said that.
I'm making an educated guess.
Seems like we're all just talking about everything, so yeah, that's me. I'll do a little light cantrip. Ooh, celestial.
Ooh, celestial.
Well, as I told your friend, everything has value. Perhaps there's a trade that you can make of equivalent value, but I don't really know much about the situation.
Well, very long and convoluted story short. There's a guy who I kind of hate but still kind of like need parts of him. And I just kind of traveled across the worlds into a different plane of existence to save him because he was in danger and also endangering me, and so I came to save him, but he's like, I can't just let him go. So my patron kind of wants me to kill him, which, not entirely against, because he really is just a motherfucker. But there's one of my friends is like a really nice guy, and I don't think murdering would be like, I don't think he'd be cool with it.
That does complicate things a little.
but he just sucks. Oh my god.
Well, it sounds like you've already made your mind up.
I mean, I don't know. I thought I was doing a little better, but seeing him kind of made me just as angry as I was before.
I've noticed people have a tendency to do that to one another. Well, as you said, it is incredibly complicated. I can see both sides. Sometimes a piece removed from the board in a game of chess is just as valuable as a piece present on the board. But at the same time, it is a life. And how will that change you if you decide to take that one in particular? For the better? For the worse? How would the world change with him gone?
I just have a lot that I need to do. And he's putting it at risk.
Usually I am on the side of...
I've come too far, I feel, to...
But are you going in the right direction? Is this the choice you want to be making? There's a lot of things it seems like you're not thinking about. What's the grand play? One might sacrifice a pawn to make a queen in a game of chess. Is that what you are trying to do, or are you simply smashing pieces into the other side and hoping to wear them down?
I need to take out the queen. And if I have to sacrifice a pawn to do it, so be it.
And it seems you have your answer.
Cheers.
Well, thanks for your dragony wisdom. Also, you're a red dragon, right? You killed lots of people. Probably.
I did. Quite some time ago.
Okay, I mean, I'm not feeling like you're judging me or anything, but, it's just like, I don't know. You exist in the context of all that came before you.
God damn it.
That was from our pre-show we don't film. Had to use that line.
Yeah.
God damn it. I mean...
That is very true. And to be honest, depending on where you come from, morality is quite flexible. It just depends on what you're trying to get accomplished.
I've been spending a lot of time in the Shadowfell. A lot of people just kind of kill there. It's a very murdery place.
That place seems to drain you of quite a lot of things. Perhaps what you really need is a spark of inspiration to send you back in the right direction. Relight what passions were lost, sucked away by the Shadowfell and all that surrounds it.
Yeah. Just need to light that fire again. Yeah, I got this. All right.
Of course.
Well,
I see you. Seems like you have quite a bit fire in you. I can smell it. Of course, being a fire dragon myself.
Yeah.
So how about I go a little beyond my usual services? Besides, I don't really get paid much, but maybe for a little gold or a magical item or something, just a little token of appreciation, I can give you a little boost, give you a little help.
Sure. Let me see what I got. I have a I don't have a lot of
I don't know why did that go away. Go away.
Here I have this a gem of transmuting spells.
Oh damn.
How's that? I don't really know if I was gonna use it.
Very interesting, he says, kind of turning it over. Well, that certainly pays for it. And he reaches out with a claw and just touches you directly on the chest in the center. And suddenly you feel like your blood is boiling. And for a moment, you find yourself back in the chamber that Mazarendael is in. Except it's empty. The chains are on the ground and you are wreathed in flames, the chains having been melted by some force. And you feel like you've connected with something deep within you that you weren't connected to before, that you disconnected yourself from for some survival mechanism, a power you were too afraid to draw upon. It seems like it lasts for an eternity and only for a second as this dragon pulls his claw away.
What the fuck? Oh my god. What?
I think that probably did the trick.
Sucker punched in the ribs.
Oh yeah, oh god. I'm like coughing, like smoke is like coming out of my mouth.
Yeah. Feeling inspired, more passionate.
Yeah, I think I want like smoke to just like come out of my nostrils and like.
Yeah, it takes a couple of breaths to like breathe all of the smoke out of your lungs, but you do eventually breathe it all out.
Yeah, feel good. I know what to do.
That's good. It's always good to take a moment to realign your compass to true north.
Yeah, true north. Just thinking about fire and brimstone and murder and like
True north. True north. Compass fucking
spinning wildly. Just remember, it's never a bad thing to take a step back and give things a good think and try and reconnect with that spark.
Right. Thank you. I didn't know that was in me.
Be surprised what people find within themselves.
Oh, I didn't know I could fit that many ribs in me.
As you're back at this boar man who is just sliced off a huge rib.
It's so good, but so much meat.
Oh, Glenivar.
You need to like lay down.
She doesn't home.
Oh, Chauncey's just gonna pull out like an ingot of. He's like, look what I got.
Oh, right, lot more useful than ribs, I reckon.
It's
shiny.
And you do see the boar man at this sort of more useful than ribs kind of bristles and sort of, oi, you can't adventure on an empty stomach.
Yeah, I didn't say they weren't delicious.
I used my best hot sauce on this.
Oh, no, I'm gonna regret that later. No filter. She does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Velantrios. I feel like Velantrios would be there at this point, being done with the herbalist.
Yeah, I'm assuming you all are at least maybe not Shaw, but the rest of you kind of have gathered around the boar man with the giant ribs.
Towards that area, sure.
As he's kind of carving off pieces and handing it out to people as it's fully done cooking.
I would be careful, Guinevere. I don't think Lyla will appreciate being stuffed like that.
Oh, it'll be fine. Her figure's never suffered from anything I've done, and it won't now.
Okay, but
But me on the other hand,
if Lyla complains about losing her figure, it's not going to be you she complains to.
exactly.
Jed is just sort of like sitting there. He has like one rib on a plate. He's just like staring at the embers underneath the ribs.
Mhm.
Doing all right there, pointy man. Just slaps him on the back. Just
yeah, I'm doing good. That dragon was actually pretty. You know what they were talking about?
told you he was insightful.
Oh, you two went to see the dragon. That's not. Have you guys seen? Has anyone seen Shaw lately?
I told.
I think he wandered
one
off
of you
to
not
that.
go with him?
Oh no.
I stopped at the Smith and then here, and I wanted to go check out the Dream Giant, but where's Shaw?
Yeah, Shaw just
Who was
comes,
supposed to be watching him? It wasn't me.
Shaw just comes walking up, just like looking absolutely traumatized.
Haunted as fuck. Like,
I
I just look up at you and I hand up my plate with a rib on it.
I will take the rib.
yup.
These ribs are gigantic. This is like Disneyland turkey leg size. Just one rib is just that size. It's huge. And yes, it is slathered in hot sauce.
Beautiful. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Leohtweg is gonna go up to the guy who just took this. He's gonna be like, "So, what kind of animal exactly is this?"
This, I believe, is dragon.
I think I need a moment.
Oh.
I guess I have some questions.
Yeah.
What dragon's good eating?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's pretty
yeah,
tasty.
Not wrong.
Question: does the dragon over there know about this?
I don't want the answer to that actually, if that's all right.
God.
Well, if he does, he doesn't care.
Yeah, I just feel kind of wrong though.
Yeah, like dragons can talk.
Still good eating.
Probably should have asked what it was before I went ahead and ate it.
Was it ethically sourced dragon meat?
I feel like
ethically as in slain, yes.
Was it an evil dragon? Maybe was it terrorizing people?
Maybe let's not find out. That's okay.
Would I be? Can I do a nature check to? I have a feeling about this. Something about like baby back ribs.
Nature check. I mean, sure, you can nature check.
Yep. 1 second. Let's try this. 20. Oh wait, no. Screw you. There we go. That is gonna be 11.
Well, if you're wondering, it certainly isn't a baby dragon.
Okay.
The rib cage is significantly larger than a baby dragon's rib cage would, assuming some sizes, because you've probably never seen a baby dragon. This is probably not a baby dragon. This is probably closer to an adult dragon.
Okay.
Suddenly Aiden just rocking himself on the seat where we're at. Just
oh god, is this like the first episode of the Addams Family where Wednesday is crying that they read a book about the knight slaying a dragon and Morticia's like, that's terrible, why would they make you read that?
I know. Yes, love it. God, and also just Jenna Ortega, like, thank you for what you do.
Hi, Aiden.
It could talk, and we ate it, and it could talk.
Oh, buddy, there's nothing wrong with eating sentient creatures every now and again.
It could do sentences. It could talk.
Who wants to go see the Dream Giant?
That's a good idea, Jed. Aiden, you want to go see the Dream Giant, champ?
Yeah, I do a little bit.
You want your dreams
Yeah.
to be true?
Okay.
Oh god.
I'll give him one of the stuffed animals from my bag.
Question: is there like any other part of the dragon around?
No, it just seems to be the ribs.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so you very easily find your way over to this Ezra Cloud Caller, who is sitting in sort of it's not really a tent. It's more of like he has the tent wrapped around him like a blanket. And he's sitting with his knees up to almost his chin as he has these almost like jeweler's glasses on, and he's holding what appears to be a chicken egg in one hand. And below him, he has this setup of various little like jars and with ladles and wax and things. And he has this tiny tool that he's drawing on the surface of the egg with. He also has a sort of basket or not really a basket, it's more of like a flat plate with a handle that has a lot of these sort of eggs stacked up on them, and they appear to be like the sort of Pisanki eggs from like Eastern Europe, these incredibly decorated eggs that almost look like Fabergé eggs in themselves. And it's impressive because not just because of the amount of talent that goes into making these things alone, but the fact that this is a 20-foot tall cloud giant making these on regular average chicken egg sized eggs.
Well, now I understand why he was asking about dragon eggs. Like,
Yes.
above game, totally get that.
Chauncey just lets out a small whistle. It's just like,
Aiden's gonna like, are those like
Aiden, don't touch.
for like the fertility festival? They're so pretty.
No, they're for dreams. I can make you any dream you want. You just break the egg before you go to sleep, and you have a dream that I specifically craft for you.
No, I want to do an egg.
It's gonna take quite some time to make one, and they're not cheap.
I can't.
I think he just wants to draw on the egg.
can I investigate this guy's supplies while he works to figure out what's going on with him?
Investigate like his setup.
Yeah, like I mean, I could throw a detect magic in there too. I'm being an inquisitive fellow craftsman. I just want to be like, huh.
Yeah. Okay. So with the detect magic, there is a lot of illusion and divination magic in these things. It's in the wax, it's in the dye, it's in the sort of tools that he's using. It's even on the containers that the dyes are in. As you look closely at these eggs, you notice there's a lot of like pictures and symbols and glyphs and almost like these channels, like the divisions and some of the lines are actually channels that this magic is running through, almost like wire charging it up. It is a very strikingly complex setup. And it's very much a combination between very old sort of iconographic magic and very new like runes and arcane sigils, a combination of the two of them to create this powerful dream or vision, essentially.
I feel like while he's doing his business, where we're all talking, like it's just a constant background of Aiden just until somebody no, and then to the next egg just no.
Can Chauncey have this moment with this giant where he's like, like the Devil Wears Prada scene where they're like, "Is that?" And then she answers what it is. Chauncey's like, "Is that wax from?"
Oh, it's from a queen bee in the Feywild.
Do that again.
I I said, wow, everything here is from the Feywild, it seems.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. I'm not.
Yeah,
Guys,
clearly.
that's another egg.
Aiden, no.
How expensive are these eggs?
Unfortunately, because of all the magic that goes into it, it's about 1,000 gold an egg.
Oh, that one.
Or a dream?
Well, you don't forget them when you wake up, and the memory never fades. If you have a pleasant one, you can enter your older years when your mind starts breaking down and keep the dream in perfect order. You can recall it perfectly and it never changes.
In my experience, my darling, a dream is a very powerful thing. What exactly did you think I was in?
Lyla,
Body?
Lyla, pull yourself together. What is happening?
It's a very interesting day.
Because like the idea of a perfect dream that never fades is a little creepy to him.
That's absolutely terrifying.
No.
Yeah.
Above game.
It's just like
I'll just eat some chili before bed. I'm good, thanks.
the craftsmanship is exquisite and remarkable, especially your giant hands and these tiny eggs.
I know he does take such care with those hands.
All right, keep it in your
Oh,
pants, Lyla.
sorry.
It did take a lot of practice to fully figure out how to do it on such small eggs. I was used to doing them from the eggs of the giant geese that live in the plane of air back at the old castle. But I've had to make do with chicken eggs.
What sort of dreams is it? Should
Do we
I
get to pick our
think-
dream?
might have?
Well, yes,
Question,
I can-
how many of us actually have 1,000 gold?
If we pool money, we might be able to.
I think you all have been spending money.
We
I
are
have-
poor.
I think
I
exactly
actually-
1,000.
I have like 1,200 still. How did that happen?
Wait, how do you guys have
Oh.
that much money? I only have
Because they
I
haven't been
know.
buying magic items.
Yeah.
Also, I Jewed everybody down with persuasion. So
Delilah's got a lot of stuff for like free or almost nothing.
I think I traded some dumb shit like early on. For,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and then I
You
traded
got
those.
you got the ointment for the stupid orb of gonging,
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
which was a terrible trade.
Oh, I did. I guess I have greater healing potions and a bunch of gold's worth of diamonds.
Yeah, you did spend a bunch of diamonds and you bought sea glass.
Oh, yeah, I just keep buying materials thinking I can make it myself
Yes.
eventually.
Yeah.
You see
And you just
Chauncey's
bought a bunch
just
of adamantine.
he's sketching like one of the eggs out and he's like, is it in the pattern? He's taking one of the notes. Is it in the pattern or is it in the wax? Question mark.
Master Og, it is rude to betray a craftsman his secrets.
I'm just curious.
Well,
Don't you
then
wonder how the world
ask
works?
outright. Or buy one if you like to study it.
Miss Lyla, I don't have the funds to purchase one right now. We haven't been home for me to collect any money from my shop in weeks. I think it's the
Well-
sub game. I don't know how long it's been.
I think it's been literally close to a month,
Yeah.
if not over a month.
I'm
Yeah.
certain that a skilled and intelligent gentleman, such as our master craftsman friend here, can be bargained with. Persuasion check.
Oh,
Sure. Give me a
Delilah.
persuasion check.
14.
I can't really knock much off of the price.
present.
Okay. And you can okay. How
Fake
Oh,
presents.
God.
Oh,
It's gonna
no.
hit all of us.
I was gonna say
now.
we all get hit by that shit. Fuck.
That's fine. I'm not gonna persuasion check you. You'll just be friendly.
Extra.
all
from
right.
Lyla.
What is the saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw DC 15.
I got a 4.
Okay, well, we're going for a charm effect. So there you go.
I get -2 to these.
Wait, it's a charm effect, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, so Shaw would get
I have advantage at least.
Wait, are we all rolling for this?
Yeah, because we're
Yeah,
all within
she just
10
Fey
feet of Lyla.
presenced
We all have to
everyone.
roll it.
If you're in 10 feet, I'm turning on my sparkle.
Okay, is it a wisdom?
So you said it was a
or-
charisma saving throw?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Is it wisdom or charisma?
Wisdom.
18.
And you know what?
Unfortunately,
Let's toss in a quick unsettling words here, Will. We'll say something like,
and what
you
is
wouldn't
what
want
does
to
that subtract?
it's a D6.
Yes.
D6.
Natural
wouldn't wanna
20.
Disappoint a loyal customer, would you? You know, I don't know.
Does a 15 pass?
Fuck! Meets it.
All right.
I knew the giant was
okay.
going to be good at wisdom.
Well, he's a cloud giant who does magic, so of course he's going to be good at wisdom. I mean, I might be able to knock off 100 if you get one of the motions to the basket, one of the pre-made ones. They're kind of generic, but they're still pleasant.
What would do for your purposes?
For me?
Well, you were the one who wanted to, I don't know, study one of these things, wasn't it?
Well, Lyla, you don't have to do it for me.
Oh,
Did I ever tell you how radiant you are?
you have maybe mentioned it once or twice, but I don't mind you repeating it.
You know, I'm envisioning gems, dripping gems.
It's kind of what I was going for this morning. I'm trying a new routine.
Can I slap?
Did everybody pass, by the way? Did we
No,
all
Chauncey
pass?
totally failed.
Chauncey failed miserably.
Chauncey's just like, you're my muse, my inspiration.
Do go on.
I can just imagine
Do we
Jedidiah
know actually what's
experiencing this.
happening? Like, would we know?
I don't think I've actually ever explained what that is.
I just like read the like feature spell, whatever you want to call it, and it literally doesn't say that they know if they
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, so there's
yeah, correct. They don't
Really
they don't
pretty,
know if
like,
it goes
no
down.
reason. Yep.
amazing.
Wait, did you succeed?
Yeah.
Shaw succeeded? Okay, yeah.
No.
Velantrios succeeded, and I'm assuming Jed succeeded.
Probably.
I'm the-
Okay,
I'm
so
the
it was
only one that
literally
failed.
just Chauncey. Oh my! I didn't
I
even
get
hit my
my-
target.
Only
I
because I
was
had
right.
advantage is the only reason that I
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're an elf, right?
What's that?
I said you're an elf, aren't you?
Yeah, half elf.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
high
Oh,
elf.
a half elf. Yeah.
High elf.
High elf. Yes. Yeah. Got you. Well, I was just trying to do something nice for a friend, but I suppose if my gifts are wasted, then I shouldn't bother. Oh.
You know, Lyla, you're not as charming as you may think.
Am I not?
At
Go
this
on,
point,
Velantrios,
you
if you've
hear
got more.
a familiar voice call out, "Aye, there you are," as Root Finder Kiga comes up, and she has a backpack with a few things in it that she's sort of packed up. Well, are you ready?
I'll go ahead and, I don't know, dismiss the charm effect if I can. It says it lasts until the end of your next turn.
Well,
So
it's been beyond the end of your next turn for quite
Yeah,
some
so-
time because it only lasts
Alright.
for 6 seconds. So
Cool, then we're good.
yeah.
Let's shove off.
Let's get out
All
of here.
right. And she very excitedly, "So, where's your boat?"
Let's
Um,
show you the way.
Prestidigitation, a little arrow. There you go.
Aye. And she kind of walks along. You see the sailors getting the last of some supplies from various orcs and elves and humans who have been trading things back and forth, and you watch as Leonidas hands over a few coins to a sailor who kind of counts them out and nods, and they all shuffle away as you all come up. Ah, I see have someone here who can help us find our way home, I'm assuming.
Well, that was the idea.
Aye, I'm at your service.
Right.
Well, that's good to know. And as you all begin to board the boat, there is a shift in the air. Almost the presence of something incredibly powerful. Velantrios,
Yes.
you feel something. It feels familiar. It feels almost like Titania, or at least a being that is very close to her, as appearing almost radiant is this woman with this fiery red hair that she has in a Swedish crown, as well as hanging down on either side. She has a big sort of wool coat that she has thrown over her shoulders. Surprisingly, she has a sort of necklace with what appears to be like sheep tails hanging from it, strangely.
Okay.
She has almost like sort of a leather apron on, as well as what appears to be this sort of leather armor. And she carries with her in one hand a sword that is made of fire that you watch as she sheathes. And in the other hand, she holds a huge shepherd's crook as she scans before locking eyes. Velantrios.
Yes, ma'am.
It seems Titania has sent me to collect you.
Well, shit.
What do you mean collect me?
Asmodeus has threatened war upon the Feywild. Seems he demands his son back.
Damn that jackass. Please leave me alone.
Unfortunately, that is not in the cards.
So I just, what is going on? Like, what, why don't, I'm so confused.
Jed's gonna speak into your head and be like, is this one of those situations where we have to kill like an angel or something for each other right now? Is that what's happening?
Literally what's going through Shaw's head right now. Like, not this shit again.
Chauncey's hand reaches back and rips the the heft of Pyramol as he's like slowly starts pulling out. Like, is this happening?
Okay, everyone calm down. Calm down. Why does Titania want me?
Because if you are not in her realm, she cannot protect you in the same way. You might be able to fend for yourself, but he will harry and hound you until the end of your days, in which case he may contest Titania for your soul. If you come to the Feywild, you will be on our ground. It will be easier to deal with him, to come to an agreement to end the war.
Now wait a minute. I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't ready for no Feywild trip. We ain't even got back yet.
Yeah, I do need to eventually go back to Drake's Ridge.
Well, you may still go, but he will come with us.
Velantrios?
Yes.
Velantrios, are you going?
No, I was addressing Velantrios.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to go to I don't want to go to hell. Basically.
If you come with us, you will not.
And how would that stop him from taking me?
The material plane is a contested place. The Fey, the elemental, the celestial, the demonic and the devilish, all hold claims over things there. If you are in our realm, it is our home. He would be a guest. He would have to play by our rules. It would make things easier.
Shit. Well, shit.
Unfortunately, my commands have been given.
And I'm assuming I have no choice in the matter.
If you leave, I will hunt you down, and I will drag you before Titania, and she will be disappointed.
I mean, we could kill her. This wouldn't be the first time, guys. I mean, not
now,
usually
hey.
my cup of tea, but
Why is every time we meet someone new, I just it's always murder?
Your call, Velantrios.
I do not mean you
I
all,
do it
Har.
for you.
I have sheathed my sword.
What's awaiting for me in the Feywild?
Titania herself and her kingdom. You will have forests and animals to speak with, forests to run through. Her castle will be your home, at least until Asmodeus is taken care of.
So it's like a witness protection.
Perhaps.
Um,
It is better than the other option. If you were to elude her, you would fall under my jurisdiction.
Can I have a moment to talk about this with my friends?
A moment.
Okay, Velantrios is just going to like shuffle everyone away.
Huddle.
Yofi? Okay.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like I have much of a choice, guys.
I suppose if the choice is between, well, literal hell and whatever the hell it is that she's got going on.
Okay. Lyla. I have no idea what's going on with you with all of your with all the different versions of yourself. But I hope that you center yourself, I guess.
Thank you, I think.
Shaw,
Was that meant to be a heartfelt goodbye?
Yes.
Oh, so you've made your mind up now. All right. Just making sure we're clear.
So you are. He is.
Shaw, I'm so sorry what happened to your family. If it's any consolation, your grandmother, right? Grandma? In the town.
Yeah.
She seems like one hell of a woman, and I'm happy that you still have her. And I know that eventually you'll find someone to spend the rest of your life with, that you'll be happy eventually. Just don't get lost in your grief, okay?
As like tears start like
They really got me.
Mm-hmm.
Jed, rain check on that favor.
It's not gonna be the last time I'm having to cross the plains for somebody, probably.
Right, we'll see each other again, right?
Well, we both have a lot of ties to hell, so probably there.
That's very disheartening to think about.
That's beautiful. Well done.
Chauncey, I have no doubt that you're going to be really like world famous with your stuff. And I get the sense that you're going through things, and I want you to be safe and okay.
Oh, thanks, Velantrios. You enjoy the Feywild too.
Hey, there are plenty of hot guys over there, right? I'll have fun.
I don't know.
Promise
Eternity in the forest really isn't my gig, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Thanks.
Promise me someday you'll tell me all about your sexual escapades.
Lyla in full-on tears.
Oh, don't worry, Lyla. I'm sure I'll give you plenty of inspiration for your songs. And
I do a mental message to Chauncey, like, he was the one who said he was a virgin, right?
Listen, we have to all start somewhere, okay?
We're going from 0 to 100 real quick for you in the Feywild.
Maybe they like them crunchy in the Feywild.
Oh no!
I'll put a hand on Velantrios' shoulder. This is really what you want. So we'll help you battle it out if it isn't.
I mean, we did it for Judd. I mean,
she's not a bad person. I know I can sense that she's like my Lady Titania. I know that if I go with her, I'll be safe from my royal, and I do mean royally fucked up dad and my siblings and their literal hell situation. I don't want to get sucked into that. I don't, and I more than that, I don't want you guys to have to deal with it because of me. So this isn't goodbye. This is until later. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Until next time, Velantrios.
Okay.
You sent me a message when you have your first Apple Tower. Okay.
Velantrios is like,
France exists now.
France is just somewhere, floating somewhere.
kidding.
Velantrios is like, I have no idea what that is, but sure.
Before you go, you just see, like, during the course of this, Chauncey had sent Lovey May into the ship, and she just comes back out with your potted plant. And
yeah,
like you should don't forget your friend here.
I hug Lovey May. I hug Faux Pas, and I grab my potted plant, and I go up to the lady, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go to the literal safe place.
Well, we mustn't dally. And you all watch as there is a sort of whirl of flames that surrounds him, but not hellfire. It seems golden with hints of green in it, of sort of fire more closely associated with the forest and the Feywild before he's gone.
He's a literal flaming flower child.
Shit. Should have leave this
Well,
gold.
I've never seen that happen before. We should probably get going before any more extra planar deities show up.
Nice.
You'd be surprised, you know.
Yeah.
This happens to us.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm gonna pat Lyla on the back and be like, it'll be okay.
I know. I forgot to snatch his coin purse before he left.
There it is.
Oh, also, I still have a good portion of the rat hides.
Put them on the ground.
Ew.
Chauncey's just shouting, "Throw the rest of the rides back!
Now Chauncey's crying too.
My rat hides! I only got one clothesline worth clean."
So many regrets.
So they the sailors end up backing the ship out of the harbor, and off you all go. At some point, Kiga addresses her lynx, and the two of them together search the stars almost until she says, "Aye, the route's that way." And you sail on until eventually, almost forming slowly in the air, is this huge root. It's almost appears like it's made out of glass of some kind. Pull up alongside it. Right, she says as the boat kind of gets closer to it. I'm gonna leave you here. You just follow the route. It should take you all the way to Ponderosa. I'm gonna have to head back.
How long will it take us to get to Ponderosa?
Depends, really. Could take a day, could take a few hours. It all depends. All depends on the tree.
That's incredibly helpful.
Thank you, Kiga.
Aye.
Thank you.
As she, I guess, she's like a rowboat or something, I'm guessing, and goes back to shore, right?
Nope, she just climbs off the boat onto the branch itself.
Gotcha. Well,
and starts walking along the branch.
I'm gonna mind link with her, and it doesn't even matter if we go super far away. I think my range is like 5 miles once I establish the link.
Yeah, it's something insane.
So I'm gonna ask her some questions real quick. I want to hey, excuse me, this is Jed. I'm on the ship. This place or this Ysgard connects to like all the other planes, right?
Aye.
Not just Ponderosa.
Aye.
How do I tell which are there branches? How do I tell where an opening to a different plane is?
Well, one route takes you to one world. And it takes a few years to master seeing which one it goes to.
But will we be passing lots of other routes?
Perhaps.
And what's just an easy tell for me to know?
There's not. That's why we got route finders.
Oh, I'm not looking for a specific one. Anyone will do.
Well, they're hard to see.
Right.
You need the special eyes.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right. Well, that is still good to know, I guess. Thank you for your help.
Perhaps if I'm ever in Ponderosa, I might swing by and teach you if you like.
Sure. You take care now.
Aye. And I guess the mental connection breaks at some point. Yeah. So yeah, the ship sails along the branch, and soon you begin to see the stars begin to stretch as the world begins to, it almost feels like it's speeding up before suddenly the ship almost bucks forward and hurtles into the stars. And it is fast. Like you hear things rattling on the deck. You can all barely stand up. It is moving at not light speed, but it is moving fast. And if anyone would like to do something at this point in time.
Besides hold on for dear life,
Yeah, besides hold on for dear life.
No, pretty much that.
All
Jed
right.
has something he would like to do.
Yes.
It's probably a good thing Velantrios isn't here, you know, motion sickness and all that.
Oh,
Vomit
Velantrios
everywhere.
would be vomiting. Just continuous vomiting. Continuous
guess-
projectile
Oh,
Either
vomiting.
way,
yeah.
she saved him in more ways than one.
I guess just preliminarily, maybe I'll cast like detect magic or something. I just want to look out and do my best. I don't know, roll Arcana or something to see if I can tell, are there any other branches going to other places that we're passing by?
If you cast detect magic, it is blinding. There is so much
Cool.
magic around here. It is evocation magic, it is transmutation magic, it's
It's
conjuration magic.
It's
It's
like
a
that
lot.
scene in Willy Wonka when
Cool.
they're going down the tunnel.
At this point, almost, it's just a swirl of color as you're hurtling through this void.
Gotcha. So am I able to discern anything?
Nope.
Cool.
It is a 100% risk what you're
We're
about to
gonna
do.
Spray and pray then. All right.
Oh, God,
Close those detect magics off, and Jedidiah is gonna do his best to sneak away. And so I guess I'll roll stealth or something.
Yep, make me a
And
stealth
I'll
check.
Guidance myself also.
All right.
Stealth. Hell yeah, that's pretty good. And then I'll add a guidance on there. Where
I think that actually was really good. Shit.
where it's not letting me click the dice thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. A D4 roll. +1. So 22 stealth.
Oh yeah, you easily sneak away from the group.
And I am going to head to the back of the ship or wherever I think there will be the least amount of people. And summon my shadow spawn and send him to go collect Virgil.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
He collects Virgil very easily. Virgil is not putting up a fight now that suddenly everything is rocking and it's light speed. He just gets dragged away by the shadow spirit.
And
Or shadow spawn, I should say.
I'll wait for him to arrive, and when he does, I turn and I say, well, Virgil, unfortunately, we are out of time. So, this really thrown a wrench in my plans, Virgil, and I am sticking my neck out for you one more time in a big way. But technically not breaking any rules. So,
What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna kill you, Virgil. Probably. I think. But this is the best I could come up with for now. Let's just say, and I'm gonna have the shadow spawn like lift him up. This is where you get off. Toss him over.
All right. Roll me a D100.
Oh, I wanted to very quickly also. I have like a regular dagger or something. I'm gonna like slip it into his boot. Cause I'm not untying him or anything.
Okay.
So this is just to
Okay.
give him a fighting
figured.
chance wherever he's going.
All right.
Um,
Roll me a
roll a
D100.
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 All right.
Uh-huh.
100. 48.
You watch, it's hard to tell what happened to him. He seems to hit the water, or what water there is, and he seems to vanish in a flash of gold. You don't know if he's still alive, if he's not. You have no clue.
Good. I don't want to know. Plausible deniability.
All right.
Fair enough.
It's
Then
hard
I
to
will
tell.
return.
All right. It is hard to tell how much time has passed, but it is certainly a little bit before you see the purplish sort of sky of the Astral Sea very close to the vortex as you all pop out. And as you head towards the edge, you watch as the water of the edge, like the wall, begins to boil and pull away into the very familiar sort of water tunnel that you all went through. And as you pass out of this wall, you feel the sort of gravity switch a little bit as the ship sort of rocks in the air before you realize you're probably about, just from looking at the horizon, about an hour away from Turtleshell Key as you are floating towards it. And surprisingly, it is also, judging by the look of the sun, 11 o'clock in the morning, which is very strange. And the ship floats into port as you all
Excuse me,
dock and get off onto the dry land, or the dry dock, I should say. And Leonidas just says, well, I guess it was some kind of a pleasure to have you on board. Not sure if I'll be doing anything like that anytime soon. I think I will stick to Ponderosa trips for quite some time.
We appreciate your help, and
It
I
was
feel the
quite the
same.
trip.
Thank you
Yeah.
for all of your help.
Got a lot to do back in Drake's Ridge.
Appreciate you, Captain.
Glad to be home.
I'm very sure you're glad to be home after all of what we saw. I'm sure you saw worse.
So wait, are we wandering away from the boat at this point?
Yep.
Like, you
I
have
would
to-
say you all are standing near the boat, so if you choose to leave, you certainly can. You've paid for the boat. They've come back. Service is done. There's no need to hang around.
Right.
Chauncey's just looking. He's like, Jed?
Chauncey.
Where's Virgil?
Oh yeah, we seem to be two down now.
Well, would you look at that?
Virgil had to get going.
Seems like the dragon did have some wisdom for you after all, huh?
I'm in a dragon.
Definitely did. Well,
Did you not?
yeah, we did. You ate bad candy.
Chauncey's just
We all
looking
made
at-
our choices.
What? He was tied up in the room, and what? He had to get going?
Chauncey, don't think about it too hard, buddy. We all knew it had to. It was.
If
You're smart, Chauncey.
Why don't we stop over at the tea room for a bit of tea? That sounds nice, doesn't it?
That does sound nice.
I'm gonna go to the stables. Get our ride going.
I suppose. Party pooper.
So as you all make your way into the upper town, you pass by some of the familiar shops, like Flora and Wilma's boutique and Donatello's bistro. And you do see Flora, the dressmaker elf, come out and, oh my, you're back.
Oh, that's right. I bought a hat from her, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You bought a hat from her.
About my fancy hat.
Well, your grandmother just left. She bought the prettiest little pillbox hat. I'm gonna go grab her. And she just like goes booking down the street to her. And it only takes a minute as she brings back Mildred Zann, your grandmother. Oh, hello, everybody.
Grandmother.
Oh my god. Grandma, do I have some stories to tell you? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, least I can do is treat you to a lovely tea at the Turtle Shell Tea Room. Unless, of course, you want to go to the bistro. I don't think you've
No,
tried that yet.
tea room's great. That sounds really nice.
All
Oh, my
right.
darling grandmother Zann, I was just thinking the same thing. And like take her arm, like
Yep. You all shuffle into the tea room where the familiar
Before we get to the
Dorothy.
tea room, can I grab Jed's arm and just hold him back for a minute? Just like
Uh-oh.
while everybody else walks in.
and
Right. Chauncey and I are gonna go to the stables. You
Okay.
all have fun with your tea. We'll catch up.
so grandmother saying you must tell me all about the time you've had while we've been away.
Oh, well, I've caught up on some reading I've been meaning to catch up on, some very good books. And you all have a very lovely tea dinner or tea lunch, of
Thank you.
course.
Brunch.
Brunch, a very lovely
Oh,
brunch. Of
yes.
course, Dunstan is definitely still flirting with you, Shaw, throughout the whole thing. However,
Traumatized.
This is like, hey, cutie, you're just like war flashbacks.
The future we had together that we didn't have together.
oh yeah. Yeah, you ended that vision going off on the quest to defeat the salamander, firmly thinking that at some point Dunstan was going to propose to you. Um, so,
Yeah. Oh.
and you are fully aware that you all, what did you hook up once or
Yeah,
just?
just like once.
And it's weird. You still
Yeah.
have both memories of both of your lives in your head at the same time, so it's a
Oh,
bit
God.
weird.
I'm having
Yeah,
a great time juggling that right now.
Yeah. So we zip over
Welcome to my
to
world.
the stables where you all, Chauncey and Jed, are assumedly having a conversation.
Like during, I guess on the walk there, Chauncey's just like, he was an asshole, but he didn't need to die.
Try to like look at you. You can see like now there's like I think like literal fire like in his like behind his irises. Just I had to do what I had to do, Chauncey. I don't have a choice.
What do you mean you didn't have a choice?
He was a risk. There's too many things happening that are too important for an idiot like him to screw up. Mazarandael also requested that he not return to Ponderosa.
I mean, Chauncey at this point, I mean, when they were kids, Jed always talked about his plans, and he knows most of them, but like the cutthroat attitude of it is something that he thought wasn't really Jed, and now it's just like, what? And then he's just like, and then when you bring up Monster Roundale, he's just like, does is that does it feel good? Does it matter that much? We just watched Velantrios just got pulled into a gilded cage for all eternity by one of them, and here you are doing the bidding of another.
I didn't have a choice, both for my personal reasons and because of him. I wasn't in the position to refuse him.
What are you going to do the next time when he demands something else?
I'll find a way to deal with it. Just like Lyla does. He still might not be all too pleased with me. I did, after all, use a bit of a workaround.
The Hells, the Feywild, Celestia, they're all parasites feeding off of our world. And you're all tied to them. And it's disgusting watching what they do to people.
He makes me strong. I couldn't do what I need to do if I didn't have him.
Are you really sure about that?
There's no other options, Chauncey. I've exhausted them all.
They're just awkwardly paused in front of the stable.
Yeah, we're just it's like when you're walking having a conversation, but it's not done when you get there, so you just stand in front of it. Like
Yeah.
Like there's definitely like pain and worry and like they literally just watched someone who has been objectively a friend and ally and compatriot in a lot of adventures at this point get whisked off to a different dimension. And Chauncey's just like, why? Why do you all have to? You can't trust any of these things from other planes ever since the world nearly was destroyed. They've been circling like buzzards.
I don't trust Mazarandale as far as I can throw him, Chauncey. I need him. I don't like him.
Is getting power from him worth being a lapdog at his beck and call?
He's never made a request before. Well, outside of one, but that other request does not conflict with anything I have going. This was the first time, and I still found a way to make it work for me. That's
Does
what
he
I
know
do,
you found a
Chauncey.
way to make it work for you?
Of course he does. I didn't break any of his rules. I followed exactly what he said. Virgil was not to return to Ponderosa. And he didn't.
What did you do? Did you just throw him in there?
I did.
Shit, he could be anywhere now.
Or he could be dead.
And it doesn't bother you at all, does it?
I did what I had to, Chauncey. It's all I've ever done. From the day we first met.
Well, that was the only good thing that ever came out of him, but I don't think he deserved to be shoved into the random cosmos, ending up who knows where.
Well, what would you have me do instead, Chauncey?
I don't
Bring
know.
him back here, let him run home to Mommy and Daddy, ruin all of my plans? Have Mazarandale reject me, lose all of my power?
Chauncey's like, I'm not winning this argument right now, and I don't want to fight. So, like,
You should know better than anyone why I have to do what I have to do, Chauncey.
I know, Jed.
Sinister overture.
I'll let you know when I'm done so you can leave Drake's Ridge before it happens.
Whoa.
But everyone there has to pay.
They're not. I mean, some of them, sure, but not all of them, Jed.
They don't.
I don't have the luxury of being that generous. And neither did my family or my father.
Jed, for the last year, I've fallen asleep to the sounds of screams in my mind and burning flesh in my nose.
And one day I hope to do the same.
And I will spend the rest of my time in Drake's Ridge making sure as best I can that you don't have to. Because I don't wish this on anyone. Can we get a cart, please?
Yeah, and we'll say this is probably a point when you've like fully wrapped up the conversation. Neither of you are budging on your point, and you do manage to get your cart. Of course, the tea dinner or tea brunch comes to a close, and as Jed and Chauncey pull up to the tortoiseshell tea room with the cart, it seems like the time that Shaw has had with the group comes to a close. As you all say your goodbyes, and Mildred takes you back home.
Lyla. Bye, Jed. Chauncey. I'm just
No,
gonna
wait,
hand you
hang on a
this.
minute here, that's
Oh wait,
Chauncey,
yeah,
Chauncey, I'm giving you the sending stone.
Oh,
Look,
thanks,
as
Shawthorn.
the new moral compass of the group, I'm relying on you to keep these two in line.
Yeah.
now come on now. Have we ever
I
What?
put an
Careful.
arm on a hand on your shoulder. I still don't trust you.
I figured.
No
Love
one
you
is
too,
that
Jed.
nice.
Lyla, you've been a mess lately. Pull it together.
I
Children
like
don't
what
belong on
Chauncey does
battlefields.
better.
Even if I don't fully believe that you're as nice as you seem like you are, you were great to have around, Shaw. You were very
Yeah,
good for us.
It was a great
fun to look
adventure.
at too.
I am exhausted. Y'all are exhausting. I'm so glad to be back home.
If you run into any problems with the crystal ball, I'm over in Drake's Ridge. I can try to do repairs if you can make the trip over.
You have my sending stone. We can always talk.
And you take care of your grandmammy, okay?
She doesn't need me for that.
Yeah, no, you
Let us
right.
know if any more ghost uncles show up in the middle of the night.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, I
And
think
if you ever
can
change
handle
your
it
mind
now.
about that violin,
Maybe I can steal it for you.
and
She won't live forever, you know.
not about Grandma's hand. No.
Oof.
It's been a rough damn day.
We got a
I think I
long
need
ride
something
ahead of
stronger
us.
than tea.
Bye,
Mhm.
guys.
We'll hug. I'll give Shawthorn a hug goodbye.
Mm.
I'll give him a hug too and maybe grab his butt just a little bit.
It's Lyla.
Yeah.
One for the road, you know?
So as you all finish up your goodbyes and you pile into the cart, the ride back to Drake's Ridge is incredibly calm. There is no interruptions. The days go by. I believe it's only 2 days over to Turtleshell Key. As you pull into town, you see things are a little different. There seems to be a few dotted around newspaper stands with some newspapers in them. There's a new building on the main street that just says the Drake's Ridge Bugler.
Oh, I have my Virgil disguise back on, of
I'm
course.
sorry.
Yes.
Is it
Oh,
Lila's like
oh. Can there just be like one mildly like saccharinely sappy weird moment before you put the mask back on?
Oh, do
if
it.
there
Sure.
must.
Yeah. Sean, like maybe the second before the next day of travel starts and you slip it back on, Chauncey's just gonna be like before you, he's gonna hug you before you change into Virgil. Because he's like, I'm not gonna get to talk to you in town, so or I'm not gonna get to talk to you. I'm gonna have to talk to Virgil.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to think I'm mad at you or anything like that. Just
Well, I'll miss talking to you too, Chauncey. We can always, and I was mentally go in your head, do this, even though I know you hate it.
I mean, we've seen most of the worst stuff in here at this point, so
Calm down. I'm not looking around in here when I do this. I'm just talking.
True.
well, I'm gonna help you, Jed. I promised that, but
Then help me make them pay.
I can help you to an extent do that. And in the back of his mind, he's like, maybe I can. If you're reading his mind, you're gonna know that Chauncey's new
I'm
intent is
not.
to like slightly just not change the entire plan, but like unlock the secret hidden ending that doesn't end the way that it do.
Yeah.
I
Like,
want the good ending.
we want the good ending, not the other ending.
Above game, just real fast. Lyla still doesn't know you're intending to just obliterate Drake's Ridge, right?
No.
I think the only people who know are Chauncey and Jed's family.
And you haven't said it like during this conversation right here.
Mm-mm.
So just making sure I'm clear on the information I have.
And that bit was mental. That was in our heads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
so
they're
nothing has
embracing
been
each other
revealed.
while they have a telepathic conversation.
All right, now I can tell y'all are doing like a moment, but we're getting pretty close to town. So if you want to wrap it up.
Yeah.
My magical flame illusion covers my body and makes me look like Virgil again.
Look, I can just see through it still, right?
I don't think you can see through it, but you know it's fake.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
was
know
gonna-
it's fake, but you can't see through it. This
Which-
isn't
which
what
illusions are the ones
Mirage
that-
Arcane.
I was gonna say
Mirage
certain-
Arcane does that, but not Disguise Self.
Okay, I was gonna say because some illusions, if you pass the investigation check, you just see.
Yeah, I think
through.
it's Mirage
I think-
Arcane and Project Image do that, but Disguise Self does not do that.
I think you would know Jed's biggest tell for this is his horns are kind of long, and the illusion just makes them look like they aren't there. So he's very conscious of like what touches the top of his head.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like when it goes up, I'm just gonna or Chelsea's just gonna reach up and flick where one of the horns is with his finger.
Yeah, okay, I can't fucking do anything about it.
Oh, so
Look, there's a building for the bugler. What?
So we'll just say
Bugler?
that
What the
you managed to
fuck is the
drop off.
bugler?
yeah, right.
Yeah, you managed to
People
drop
here
off.
don't read.
Maybe. Yeah, you managed to drop off the cart, and it's probably about midday. The thing to do, of course, is to go to the Salty Spittoon. And as you all head in, down a member, and you're greeted by
Teddy.
oh my god, I forgot his name.
Teddy.
It's been so long.
Teddy.
Teddy, that's who it is. We're professional on this podcast. As Teddy greets you, Lyla, you notice a very
Oh,
you suddenly
I'm sorry.
notice a oops.
Someone's knocking. Hang on, 1 second. 1 second.
Well, that was
Never
unfortunate
mind.
because we were heading straight into a Lyla thing. Woo!
Yes, that's me. Yeah.
This podcast only runs on a basic Zoom subscription, and we do it out of our homes. So, welcome to interesting things that happen on this podcast.
Chauncey, just you feel from the sending stone a little message light up. It's just Shaw like, does this thing work?
I'm so sorry, guys. I ordered a DoorDash like an hour and a half ago, and it's just now deciding to show up. And apparently, I need my ID because there's cold medicine in it. So,
Oh, all right.
Weird.
You get the sending stone back. We made it back. There's a new paper in town. It's weird not having you and Velantrios with us anymore. There was a lot of room in the
All right.
Just 3 of us now.
You get one sitting
Yeah.
stone use a day.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
You know, I'll count sitting. I'll be like, it was great. Glad you made it home safe. Good. Keep them in line.
good.
Chauncey doesn't have sending, or else he's sending a sending back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think artificers get sending.
You could check their spell list. I'm a very particular type of artificer. I am just waiting until 3rd level spells unlock, and then it's GG's.
Lights don't work in there.
Fireball o'clock.
feel like
Oh, no,
it's
I don't
already
get
GG's.
fireball. I'm getting
One of these days, I'm going to beat you to a fucking
Oh.
one day.
So as you all enter the bar, and Teddy just, well, it's good to see you back. I'm assuming strong stuff.
Please, Teddy. Please. Look at Lyla and her poor feet. She's so exhausted she can't even speak.
Yep. All right. And she begin and sorry, Teddy begins pouring the stiff drinks. Well, I can say a lot has changed around here since y'all left. I think some of the people from Twin Gulch back there made their way up here. I know Goldie Tail came up here. She's the one that runs the new Drake's Ridge Bugler. There's also a new hairdresser in town. She showed up a few days ago, was getting a shop all set up. I think her name is Zelina.
That's okay.
It was like a succubus, right?
Yep, it's the succubus.
Oh.
Yeah, and also and also the Briganock have bunch of them have moved into the mine, and they've been keeping old Dez up there busy baking cakes all the time since they only want to be paid in cake.
Oh,
Very
God,
strange.
Des hates baking.
I know. I heard her talk about slipping some hot sauce in there to get him to stop asking her specifically, but well, she didn't really want to anger him.
Any other big news? Any other new arrivals in town?
Not any. Well, actually, the old stable master showed up. Deacon Hubbard showed up just a while back.
He did? Virgil says.
Yeah, he showed up a little while back.
Really?
He's been helping out Gertie. I think he took a trip off somewhere for some reason. Probably why you didn't see him today. But and of course, Birdie's been having some family trouble, so she's been staying with Dez and helping out with the general store. Something's going on between her and Caleb, and I guess they're fighting for some reason.
Oh dear.
You watch Virgil's eyes very quickly get some flames and Jed was like, that's just sorry to hear that. Excuse me. And he's gonna like go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't think Lila's going to be back for a while. So, there she is. Hello, I muted you. I'm sorry.
Speak of the
Welcome
devil.
back. We're professional on this podcast.
Sorry
I will
about
say,
that. That was a
after
mess.
this sort of short conversation that you all have with Teddy, after he's poured you quite strong drinks, Lyla, you would notice sitting at one of the tables all by herself is a woman in a white dress with a white hat. And she turns and locks eyes with you. You've seen this woman before. She was the person that gave you the present that turned into the horrible card-wielding goblins. And she simply stands up to her full, surprisingly tall height and walks over and just, well, it's lovely to see you again. And that is going to be the end of this week's episode. So join us next week as things are very obviously afoot.